I take it you're the ones appointed by Elder Talapo?
Yep, and you are?
Call me Toltec. The chief asked me to be your guide for the day. His messengers already filled me in on the situation.
So the dye is somewhere in this cave, huh?
This is as far as I can take you. Only the appointed ones may...
Why's that?
Kind of a long story. Apparently, there's a certain fruit that grows in this cave. Many years ago, our ancestors set out to make a series of ambitious works of graffiti art. They selected this cave to make them in. Presumably, however, they didn't want anyone to see their work before it was completed. And so they sealed off the entrance to control access. To bypass the seal, you have to have mastered the art of color perception.
Oh, right. Haven't we been in here before, though?
The strange thing is, our ancestors never removed the seal. Since it was sealed off, the only person who's been inside is the great shaman, Huitzilin. According to her, the artwork tells the story of a hero. But I digress. Sorry, I'm a big fan of graffiti artwork.
So you're sure you don't want to come with us?
I'll pass. I tried to get in once, but the seal blocked my way. I tried getting my Iktomi sword to clear it with its powers. I guess it's supposed to be a test left there by our ancestors. If you don't...
Aww.
Don't worry about me, though. I wouldn't be... Unlike our chief, I don't have the guts to challenge our traditions. This task is specifically appointed to someone by the Iktomi...
Fair enough. All right, we'll try not to take too long. This should be the place. That fruit Toltec mentioned should be the one on the wall, right? Paimon didn't notice it last time we were... Now, the only question is, which ones do we pick? Well, go ahead. You saw something, right? Whatever it was, grab it. Remember the last time we came here? We found all of the artwork throughout the cave. They probably use the same stuff for their paint as we're using for the dye, right? Maybe we'll create a masterpiece of our... Yep, let's...
Sounds like you made it through the seal then. It's getting late. Follow me.
Toltec has updated me on your progress. Well done. I appreciate your efforts.
Sure thing! Here's the stuff for the dye.
I see. Yes. This is certainly a very different substance.
Got it!
Please come with me. Take a look at this. It's a woven scroll made by one of our ancestors.
Ooh!
The person depicted is the legendary shaman, Huitzilin. She lived 200 years ago and was once appointed by the Iktomi Elder. She was especially skilled in the art of color manipulation. And this scroll is a record of her deeds and was most likely the work of her own hand. The quality is simple. Sadly, since she passed away, all of our Iktomi Elder's subsequent appointees have had to rely on the gift. That's a good way of putting it. My only quibble with your phrasing would be, it's not just me.
Hoo-hoo! Now Paimon's...
Bring out the samples. Now, as I mentioned, the dyeing process is a little complicated, but I am the pattern has already been sketched out on the sample. So, you just need to dye each block with the correct color. But you'll need to wait for the dye to fully soak in between each. Ha ha ha! Good! The dye has taken to the fabric, and the pattern is crisp and clear.
Okay, final step! Did it work? Paimon doesn't see it!
Oh, that color isn't showing up. Oh, the dyeing has failed. No, your technique was flawless. You did everything exactly as instructed.
Then what went wrong?
It could be the weaving technique. Or maybe the dye has to be applied.
Sorry, Paimon wishes we could do more to...
I am the one who should be apologizing. I will, of course, honor my commitment to compensate you for your trouble, but I do hope you won't give up on this task.
Don't worry, we're not quitters. Paimon does have a question, though. This whole process of... You said yourself you're all about change and reform. Well, this seems like...
I think you've perhaps misunderstood my philosophy, but that's okay. I can answer your question.
Oh, sure.
Cool. Look at...
It's gorgeous!
Now, try look...
Whoa, that graffiti!
In all the years since the founding of our tribe, it is true that I seek to bring new life to this ancient tribe through change and reform. But I also understand the foremost of these is the way we record our...
Oh, that makes sense.
Since the very beginnings, our tribe has always sought to bring color to history. So, whatever it takes, I must find a...
You're completely right. I'm sorry for what she said earlier.
It's quite all right. I'm just grateful you're... Then let us hope that when...
That's a little concerning. Let's go over there and see what they're up to. Also, how did they get this close to a tribal settlement? Huh. All the Fatui left in Natlan are probably the captain's subordinates. That basically... Still, once a Fatus, always a Fatus. Something seems off seeing them. What are you guys...
Following orders.
Hey, what's with the attitude? Can the Fatui even work?
This is Grudok. I hired him to be my bodyguard in Natlan. As you can see, he's not the sociable type. My original plan was to hire someone from the local tribes, but a priest recommended Grudok, and I was told they were capable fighters and had the time to spare, so they fit the bill. It seems like the Fatui's reputation in...
So that's what happened.
Precisely! Montluçon, at your service. I work in the publication business. And you two... Wait.
Oh, you know us?
A golden-haired traveler with a floating companion. Your exploits in Fontaine have all the makings of a best-selling series. I'd be a failure of a book merchant if I...
Wow, we're really famous at this point.
It's truly my lucky day. I know this is sudden, but I was actually looking for you two.
So, you chased us all the way to Natlan?
You'll be generously rewarded, I promise.
Well, at least he got straight to the point. Should we hear what he has to say? Huh?
You know the great shaman Sitlali, right? I need her help with something.
Yeah, but the chances of her helping a random stranger just because we ask. Yeah, Sitlali really...
I heard about that from other members of her tribe. But they told me if one person could... If you manage it, I'll even double your...
Oh yeah, we should definitely get to the...
It's kind of a long story, and there's tribal history involved, so you should hear it from an expert. Alie, if you could.
Of course. I don't often have an eager audience for this kind of thing. Nice to meet you. The name's Alie. I'm a researcher from the Fontaine. Unlike most researchers, I have a keen interest in ancient ruins. That's why I was invited to join Monsieur... Have you heard of the legend of the great shaman Huitzilin? Yes. According to local records, she was a color mystic who lived out of all of her exploits. Her most celebrated, according to legend, the battle was triggered by an abyss invasion. Amazingly, Natlan was able to turn the tide despite being at an extreme disadvantage. The key to victory was none other than a color. The color was extraordinary. Illusory in appearance while also seeming to possess physical form. Legend, and trap all the enemies inside. This allowed her allies to launch a
Anyway, that's the gist of it. We don't want to take up too much of your time. That story is the reason I came to Natlan. I often publish books about the history of... When I heard this story for the first time, I wanted to include it in my next... Historical records about Natlan aren't very detailed. We haven't been able to determine, even within the Masters of the Nightwind, people dispute the legitimacy of... If that were the case, the story would not be...
But if you're just including it in a story...
Well, you see, the slogan for the collection is restoring. That's why I'm here. The Masters of the Nightwind are said to have a tradition of recording, but I was refused access to the Obsidian Altar. Application after application, and all I received were a few.
According to my research, their scrolls are considered sacred relics in addition to historical records. Not to mention, the scrolls we did get to review actually contain a huge amount of it.
We've been over this, Alier. There's no need to waste time on those.
Citlali?
Exactly. You're well aware, I'm sure, that Citlali has been alive from. If she agrees to be my consultant, then no other historical.
Oh, that.
So, what do you say?
Well, it's not that we don't want to help you. Oh, right. The duty the chief gave us. Who knows? The Battle of Seven Colors might lead us in. All right, we'll help you convince Citlali.
Of course. So, this is where the great shaman lives? A bit.
For someone like Citlali, it actually makes a lot of sense.
Is this graffiti her work too? I wonder if it's a cultural practice. If I could just copy it down.
We're here for a reason, Alier. As agreed, you two can do the talking.
Okay, we'll go knock on the door. Hopefully Citlali? Are you there? We need your help with something! Oh, no response. Maybe she's not home. Oh, Granny Eatsley? Are you home?
Hey, kid! If you're here to challenge me, book an appointment first. Traveler!
Looks like we came at a bad time. Well, at least we didn't get turned. Huh. So this is where Citlali lives.
I, didn't have time to fully clean up the place. Complain if you want. Menial housework means. Besides, in light novels, people who keep. Also, I'm not a hermit.
She sure does care a lot about what we think of.
Oh, and that spell I used to transfer my senses to you? It's my duty as a great shaman to check that kind of.
Oh, you mean when we could hear your thoughts? Nope. It's.
Then why do I hear the traveler's thoughts in my.
What?
I can still hear you, you know. Don't bother. I'll find a way to fix it. First, you hear. It's just a simple spell. I use it on you and. Forget it.
Well, someone asked us to ask you to be their consultant.
So they asked the hero of Natland to put in a good word? Sounds like they know I don't usually trouble myself.
The pay is really good.
Doesn't matter. I'm busy.
She sure doesn't look busy. I'm on.
From you?
Yeah, we were given a sacred duty to help your.
Huh?
We were surprised too. After all, but with Chef Biram's help, we still haven't succeeded. But we learned that the historical event those men want to ask about also involves color. If you have. She's giving us that face again.
I can't decide whether this twist is completely out of the blue or if it...
Does that mean you... Then there's still hope.
Hey, what's the holdup? Just give us an answer already.
You agreed to let us do the... Sweet Lolly!
Stand down, Grudok. As your employer, if I tell you to wait, then you... You're the great shaman who's been alive for centuries? But you're so... Apologies for the disturbance. Grudok is a recent hire.
You're lucky you didn't force Sweet Lolly's hand.
Well, since you're here, how about a discussion?
Do you have any idea who I am? Did you think Granny Eatsley would be fooled by your... I have no intention of speaking to you. Your recent hire interrupted me right as I pull a trick like that again. And I'll make your lives a living horror novel, except 10 times worse.
Whoa.
Traveler, we have a discussion to finish.
You live up to your name, Granny Eatsley. I apologize for the offense. I'm just surprised the Battle of Seven Colors didn't pique your interest.
You're investigating the Battle of...
Ah, the Traveler didn't get to that part? Yes, I thought the Traveler could help me convince you. But, if I'm not mistaken, you have a personal interest in this. I heard that the great shaman Huitzilin was a friend of yours. You two must have been... If I can resolve the controversy and prove the battle took place, I'll include it in my next collection. Then, all of Teyvat will learn the truth. With your support, your friend's heroic deeds will once again be known throughout the land. Inspiring, don't you think?
If this is really about that duty, then... fine. I'll help you.
I'm honored.
Save it. I agreed to help the Traveler, not you. You'll just have to...
Well, at least she agreed to
help. Who are you calling heartless?
Not a problem. I always plan to work with the Traveler. So, did you directly experience any events of the battle? Do you have any idea where it took place?
Talk at me, why don't you? Fine. No, no, and no. I did live during the same era as her, but that doesn't mean we experienced the same events. I've lived a long time, but I'm not a walking encyclopedia. You decide the angle of your investigation, and I'll provide answers if I'm familiar with the subject.
All right. Even if you didn't witness the battle yourself, you still lived through that era. Your insights are very valuable. Alier, you had an idea about where to start, yeah?
Oh, well, my plan was to consult the member...
Then, let's start there. Traveler, what do you say to officially working together? After all...
You don't seem super invested in this whole thing, Sweet Lolly.
The Battle of Seven Colors is something I've only ever heard about.
But how?
I wasn't there when it took place, and she never told me about it.
But Montluçon said the two of you were close friends.
Close friends? More like arch rivals. Something Montluçon would know if he actually did his research. Did you see the graffiti outside my house? That's not my doing. All students from Weeziling's School of Shamanism must pass an extremely difficult trial before those graffiti drawings are how they challenge me. Of course, none of them ever succeeded. So, after Weeziling's death, her students had no choice but to modify the requirement. Instead of defeating me, all they have to do now is last long enough. As my rival, Weeziling only had one achievement that surpassed my own. And that was the Battle of Seven Colors. I can only assume it makes perfect sense that she kept it from me. I'm a fast learner. Telling me about the technique is no different than handing it to me on a silver platter.
Oh, that makes sense.
Anyway, all of that is secondary. Like I said, I'm only here to help you. Don't misunderstand. This duty is important for my tribe, too. A great shaman should do her part to see it done. Excuse you? I fail to see what housekeeping has to do with my duty as a shaman. Why is it that you're the one whose thoughts are exposed, but I'm still the one suffering?
Excuse me, Great Shaman, but we have a situation over here. We could really use your help.
Okay.
Of course the Battle of Seven Colors happened. The woven scroll proves it. Weeziling used a mysterious color to construct a maze and—
That's just your interpretation. There's more than one way to understand that scroll. Besides,
Weeziling was one of the most powerful shamans of her time.
That's the biggest problem. She had students. Why not pass it down? A technique that powerful? And no shaman since has ever used it?
Her students are keeping it a secret, of course. If you knew a technique like that, you'd be a—
Oh, I didn't mean to cause an argument. I just wanted to ask.
Of course it took place. Why would you need to prove it?
You'll have to excuse him. Some people in our tribe insist on clinging to outdated views of history.
Please don't fight.
Wow, so the battle really is controversial.
Am I the outdated one? Kids these days can't find anything better to argue about?
These arguments are precisely why I hesitate to include this story in my collect. Neither side was able to offer anything useful. What should we do?
Weeziling was a passionate teacher. We were opposites in that sense. The technique she used in the battle must have been her masterpiece. Still, if the technique is powerful enough to single-handedly stop an invasion, we should check with the students from her school. If we can confirm the technique exists—
But as far as I know, most of the shamans from her school occupy high positions in the tribe. Not the type of people outsiders like us—
right. The obsidian altar is off-limits.
Is there a problem?
Most of Weeziling's students are respected priests in the tribe. But that means they had to go through me. Those who hold the position now are the ones who lasted long enough before I wiped the floor with them. If I show up without warning, they'll run for dear life.
Yeah, Paimon can see it now.
Hey, don't jump to conclusions. That was just a metaphor. Only you have the guts to joke like that with me, Traveler. Fine, I said I'd help, so I'll help. But don't blame me.
Alright, the rest of you can wait for us here.
We appreciate the help.
Oh, are you in the middle of a ceremony?
Granny Eatsley?
What is she doing?
Did some coward not show up after challenging her to a fight?
Or is she here to officially—
Whoa, looks like they really—
No matter what, We'll defend our dignity as—
You talk a big game for someone who lost to me the most.
What?
All I want is to ask some questions.
So, you're here to interrogate—
Someone didn't sit pretty for their beating? Is that it?
We should just run!
Yeah, with the hero of Natland here, Granny Eatstily.
Sure, whatever you say.
Oh, it's the Traveler and his companion.
We wanted to ask about the technique you inherited.
Huh. So you can eradicate our school once—
Disciples of our school have challenged her year after year, just as our master instructed.
Well, you're not wrong.
If we want to protect our legacy.
Not this again. Just...
Hey! You can't just say whatever you want, just I'm Granny Eatsley. A mere mention of my name and kids burst into tears. Love and What? You know what? Forget about your duty. We really—
Sorry to disappoint, but if you're here to question whether we're qualified to inherit our master—
We're not getting anywhere. What should we do, Traveler?
Huh? Oh.
Elder Tlapo! Oh, we must have disturbed your meditation.
Did Elder Tlapo just issue—
From what I can tell, in a single—
Is Elder Tlapo telling us to—
That's not possible.
Oh, you forget yourselves, my friends. You are esteemed priests of our tribe. Where are your—
But
I didn't expect to see you here, great shaman. My sincere apologies.
Well, I wasn't exactly planning to come to this crowded place. So you can save the pleasantries.
Understood. Now, as successors of Huitzilin, however, Elder Tlapo's declarations have always showed us the correct path. So, mind your manners and allow—
Good thing Elder Tlapo and... Hi there, Elder Tlapo! Hey, he seems pretty happy to...
He's the one who put you in charge of the scroll, right?
Yeah, Elder Tlapo.
Elder Tlapo, huh? He's still Claw to me. Hey, don't pull that cutesy stuff with me. You're an Ictomisaur Elder now.
So, you already know each other?
Claw was only this big when we first met. He was Huitzilin's Saurian companion back then. She kept dragging him to my place, so she only came to my place to fight me. But at the same time, she always claimed to be my friend. She was the only one who dared to try, at least.
Well, you've lived a long time. You've probably...
The more time you have.
Oh,
Anyway, let's get back to business. I hate talking about the past. Oh, 200 years and you still have... I still haven't made up my mind, so you should head back.
reached out since...
I'm just grateful you haven't...
Actually, we have good news! We found another clue!
I'm all ears.
It's the Battle of Seven Colors.
Huitzilin's claim to fame? That sounds promising.
True, but Granny Eatstily promised to help.
Is that so? Huh. I've tried seeking her help.
Hey, don't complain! None of the previous...
Forgive me. That wasn't my intent.
Paimon said you've been trying to figure out how to weave the special scroll.
It is my duty.
Why bother? The scrolls always end up completed on time.
If I may, this task concerns the memory is sacred to our tribe. I'm sure a great shaman understands that better than a humble junior like myself. I know you don't concern yourself with the daily affairs of the tribe, Granny Eatsley.
I get your point. Of course, the one time I wish you could read my mind, it doesn't work. No, that...
Huh?
It's not important. Rest assured, Biram, with my help...
You have my thanks, then.
Huh. So are you here to test whether we're qualified to inherit Master Wheatzilian's legacy?
You've already been tested, haven't you? Well, frankly speaking, I don't think... But that's not why I'm here. All you need to do...
Fine. Ask...
You've heard of the Battle of Seven Colors, right?
Of course. It's our master's claim to fame.
Then I'm sure you know there are those who question...
I did hear people arguing about that the other...
It's disgraceful.
It doesn't surprise me. Nadland has had more tourism lately. A lot of people have started getting strange ideas. After all, everyone who took part in the battle has returned to the ley lines. Without...
Well, it just so happens the questions...
Listen, we know you were rivals, but
You think she's like you? Someone who can't survive a little script?
No, of course not.
Then let me finish. During the battle, Wheatzilian most likely used a technique powerful enough to... proud enough to pass it on to her disciples.
I don't think any of us have heard of it.
Listen, I'm not trying to take it for myself, so be honest.
Yeah, no objections there. But I'm telling...
What's wrong with her? Why would she let it go?
Master's body of work is massive. No one student could hope to learn all her techniques. Mastering just a few already... Master had no choice but to recruit many students. Split up what she knew in... So even though we see ourselves as representatives of Wheatzilian's school of shamanism, what we know... Actually, I know of a shaman family that inherited some of Master's techniques. The family fell on hard times.
But if they inherited Wheatzilian's secret technique...
Well, it's the only thing I can think of.
All right, give me...
I'll mark it out on your map.
To be honest, I'm not optimistic about the future of this investigation. That's because the request came from you.
Proving the legitimacy of this battle
Nothing we can do about...
Well, even if our investigation ultimately proves the legend to be... Although I'm here for business purposes, I have a personal...
That's exactly why I chose to follow you.
Listen, I'm just updating you on the situation, not asking... Traveler, you came to me for help with your scroll weaving. You thought looking into the Battle of Seven Colors could give you answers. That's understandable. But based on our progress, I'd say this is... Instead of wasting time, you might consider taking a different approach.
Respected traveler, let's not forget about the compensation I promised. You shall have it in full. Extra...
What makes you say that?
Yeah, based on what you've told us so far, it kinda seems like...
You think...
She claimed to be your friend, but picked fights with you non-stop. And never told you about... By figuring out the truth behind the battle, maybe we could...
Closure? I'd say we're 200 years too late.
That...
Alright, let's go visit the shaman family! Hello, are you Aisha Man?
Yep, that's me. Huh? Granny eats the—
Get up! In a crowded market like this, the only person who should be trying to hide is me.
My apologies. Ever since my grandfather's generation, the shamans of my family have given—
Man, this is generational trauma!
Whenever I misbehaved as a kid, Grandpa would tell me about the thrashing he received from—
Hey, don't get any funny ideas. This was your idea, remember? Keep asking your questions. I'm going to find somewhere quiet.
Okay, so your family studied under Huitzilian.
Yes, although that pretty much ended with— the techniques my family learned from Huitzilian didn't have much practical use in terms of tribal affairs, so— turns out, shaman techniques aren't that useful outside the— Of course, it's possible that we were just too foolish to understand the true power of those— After all, Huitzilian was a genius. None of her students have been—
Do you know which techniques were passed on to your family?
I'm not sure. As a kid,
Just think about it for a sec.
Decide the outcome of a battle. Besides, my family wasn't really known for our talent. You might have better luck asking one of the priests. Their descendants—
Well, looks like we're back where we—
Still no definitive evidence the Battle of Seven Colors took place.
All we have are non-witness accounts. We could put together an interview, but that's not going to hold up an—
Then we have to keep going.
Oh, you're investigating the Battle of Seven Colors?
Yeah, you know about it?
Not a lot, but there's something special about my family. In addition to— say what you want about my ancestors' dedication to shamanism, but they and of course, the Battle of Seven Colors is the—
We don't need another story. We need something concrete.
I'm not sure if this is helpful, but the story passed down in my family is a little different from the one told in the tribe.
Really?
Well, it's Huitzilian's personal account of the events, so it's a lot more detailed. For example, in the version I heard, the battle took place—
That means you can tell us where to find it. Have you ever been to this place?
Unfortunately—
I studied maps of Natlan before we left, Monsieur Montluçon. I don't—
Could your answer—
It's unlikely. My family may have let the shamanism side of things fall by the way. In the words of my grandfather, some things deserve to be passed down.
If Huitzilin's version of events differs so much from the general understanding, that makes—
Yeah, that's disappointing.
Hold on. You mentioned the Chico Mostek cave?
Oh, yes?
It's been more than 200 years.
What do you mean?
That location is now known as the Valley of Fog. The Chico Mostek cave is what it was called 200—
Precisely when Huitzilin was alive. That means, Monsieur Montluçon, once we get there, the evidence we need should be at our—
Just when we thought all hope was lost.
Save it. Flattery won't get you anywhere with me.
Wait, Mr. Montluçon works in publishing. You're a huge fan—
Really?
Out of print, huh? Sure.
Well, if we're talking collectibles, then the first edition of Shogun Almighty reborn as Raiden with unlimited power is a must. It's the first major hit of the isekai genre. Several editions have gone to print, but copies of the—
I see.
There's also its sister work, Pretty Please Kitsune Gucci. It was Yai Publishing House's attempt at gauging the— It's opened the door to a new genre after readers grew tired of isekais. The sales speak— Actually, Yai Publishing House released a limited edition not too—
Sorry, I'm not sure I caught all that. What were—
These two titles are among the most successful and well-known works in the—
I'm a merchant from Fontaine, after all. Regarding this particular genre from Of course. Sounds like a perfect arrangement. Now, there's no time to waste. We should head to the site of the battle right away.
Once we get there, it'll take a bit more work to determine the actual location. Right now, all we have is a general idea.
Well, I'm sure Miss Sitlali can help us with that.
Have you even looked at the time? It's already evening, and I have—
Well, what do you think, traveler? Okay, we'll find a place to...
He's persistent, huh?
How about noon?
Do we have to wait that long?
Great shamans have important... That's only because I have important...
All right, as Miss Setlali instructed. Let's meet back up tomorrow at noon. We'll be...
Sorry. I just wanted to ask. Is Granny Eatsley...
Yeah, of course.
Oh, good.
You're really that scared of her?
To be honest, Granny Eatsley almost never interacts with ordinary tribespeople like us. Everything we know about her comes from rumors. She's a powerful shaman who's lived for over 200 years.
Well, thanks for today, Sweet Lolly.
That's quite considerate of you.
Wait, didn't you say you had important plans tonight?
What did you think I meant?
Does that mean you've gone drinking every night for the past 200 years?
No, I've had enough socializing for one day. Which will also give us a chance to solve the mind-reading issue. Considering the necessary spell work, I'd rather do it in private. No, further up.
Further up? Whoa, this is like a secret base!
Sometimes I want the fresh air, but let's see if my stash is still here. Great! The hell... Now for the mind-reading issue. Give me your hand. It might take a little longer, actually. I just need to share... And... that... you're not wrong. Hold on! What? Oh, did I not separate our senses completely? Maybe... Oh, please work, please work. A great shaman should be able to hit... Okay, what about now? Huh? And now? Huh. Whenever I try to remove the effect, it just... That was just to help with this. For a human soul, to lose the boundaries of the mind is to drown in the sea of consciousness.
Wait, that sounds bad.
I read.
Is Sweet Lolly drunk?
Anyway.
Hearing the Traveler's thoughts isn't that bad, right? You should just tease it.
It's just. I'm not good. Sorry, I said we could be friends, but I guess I'm used to being Granny Eatsley. Someone intimidating, someone people are scared to approach. I don't have to deal with people that way.
Yeah, Paimon's been wondering. Why do you insist on living so far away? You could easily...
When you live as long as me, the color draws you in. You water it to see it bloom. It rewards you with its fragrance, but it doesn't last. With the passing of the seasons, everything withers away. Even if the same plot of soil is covered in flowers the following year, that's just how it is. Most of the people in my life will be gone one day, just like a flower. Getting close means losing friend after friend for hundreds of years, until the weight of their memories crushes my soul. If people don't care about me, then I don't have to care about them. It's better.
Sweet Lolly.
You won't live as long as me, so you don't have to worry about that. Really? Then you should understand. Nearly... Traveler...
Is something wrong?
Stupid mind-reading side effect won't go away. It's not like I want to hear you.
Okay, she's definitely drunk. Sweet Lolly!
I'm not drunk. Just gotta think of a response. I'll think.
Uh-oh, not this again.
I'm fine.
Is she talking in her sleep or talking to us?
Bye. Gonna walk back alone.
All right. This should be the place we decided to meet yesterday. Who knows if Sweet Lolly will show up on time.
Ahem.
Sweet Lolly!
No need to sound so surprised. Drinking is just a way to pass the time. Last night doesn't count. It was a minor slip-up, that's all. And the Battle of Seven Colors holds the key to a lot of the answers I've...
So that's why you're here, so...
Traveler, great shaman. Sorry to keep you waiting.
Just follow me. I'll confirm the location myself.
Of course.
This should be it.
So the battlefield is inside this.
That could explain a lot of our
Don't lose focus. Once we get to the actual site of the battle, all the evidence...
Everyone ready?
So the Abyss invaded through a cave like...
When the Abyss first began to corrode the ley lines, they took every
All the items here should be useful.
You're not to touch a single one without my nod.
I don't support invasive excavation techniques either.
Ah, of course. I'll defer to the experts on this matter.
There are weapons here from every tribe in Natlan. The battle must have encompassed the entire nation.
Sounds like we're getting closer to what the legend describes. But all we can really say is that a battle took place here. There's still no evidence of any...
Wow, you're really invested.
Well, it's... Grudok, send some of your men to search the area. We might miss something all grouped together like this.
All the bases.
Don't jump to conclusions. Of course this isn't the site of the actual battle.
This wall is in our way!
I might have an idea. Traveler, try removing that sphere.
Whoa, we passed straight through! What was that? Some kind of...
It's very close to the technique Wheatsealing might have used.
That's it? Doesn't quite compare to the scale described in the legend.
Still, what a terrific archaeological...
Enough chit-chat. We should keep going. Hold on. If we step here, we might fall through.
You mean there are traps in here?
Remember how we were able to pass through the wall just now? It must have been because, on our person, we were...
Whoa, you're right. We can keep going now. Wait, what was that? What is...
Look! A maze made of colors.
It's real. I can't believe it.
Hold on. The quality of this space. This isn't real.
Huh?
No. This is a space constructed using memories.
Correct?
Celine?
What?
No. It's just a trace of her consciousness left behind.
Friends, this is my question to you. What is our strongest weapon against the... After all, is it not after losing the capacity for memory, love, and compassion? That is why, with our memories, we possess a I have discovered the perfect medium for us to wield that weapon. The more cherished the memory, the more vivid its color. As memories disappear, their color fades first, guided by vibrant colors. Your capacity for memory is what will allow you to navigate this maze. Without that capacity, enemies will fail to cross the barrier. So, be brave, my friends!
Any ideas, Sweet Lolly?
Sounds like she left a tutorial. Not surprising. She always did have to handhold her.
Here too?
Abyss creatures. Likely trapped here for some time. Looks like a few monsters made it out of the battle all those years ago.
Break forth!
What's with these color-changing blocks? You and Sweet Lolly fell through all of a sudden. You scared Paimon half to death.
Must be one of the mechanics of the maze.
Oh no! More monsters?
Ah, shoot. They're blocking the way forward. Let's get rid of them. Papa, get him!
Order guide you. Gather!
This place is so pretty. If not for those monsters, Paimon would have never guessed this was a battlefield.
The showmanship's not bad. I'll give her that.
Is this a bridge made of colors?
Don't sound so surprised. We just need to cross and we should reach the end.
Looks like we made it through the maze.
Hold on.
Whoa, so pretty! The thing in...
It's like a miniature blueprint made from a
That color.
The dye was modified using a secret technique to harness the power of... Without that power, it's just a normal dye. I would say this is the most direct evidence that the Battle of...
The expert has spoken!
Perhaps I could take a closer look? It's an important piece of...
No, you may not. you noticed my signal. Not bad, traveler.
Huh. So, you've been watching me.
A self-proclaimed book merchant who's never heard of Shogun Almighty reborn as Raiden with unlimited power? Please, that work was a commercial success across— I knew you were fishy, but I didn't expect you to pull something like this.
Monsieur Montluçon, we just need a few pictures for our research, not the artifact itself. What if it gets damaged or destroyed?
Shut it! I couldn't care less about preserving this piece of trash.
But then there would be no evidence to prove the battle—
What if that was my goal all along?
What?
Huh. Pretending to be a book merchant, pretending to promote the history of Natlan and its heroes was the only way to get it. But make no mistake, I'm no lowly merchant. I am the future owner of the largest printing company in all of Teyvat. But the dye in that sphere ruined all my plans before they could even get off the ground.
We've received a report that your advertisement in the paper makes false claims. Fontaine Law demands it be taken down immediately.
False claims? The dye I advertised is an unprecedented innovation. It produces colors of unmatched radiance.
Unfortunately, its qualities are neither unprecedented nor unmatched. According to the lady who made the report, she saw a woven scroll and even more miraculous. That substance dates back hundreds of years.
How? Creating this dye is the culmination of my entire life's work. You're telling me I'm—
Calm down, sir.
Sorry, it's just— I know this product will be a hit. The economic boost to Fontaine will be huge. We just need to advertise it as written. Fontaine's publishing industry is one of the best in the world. All we need to do is publish something in the paper. We don't need to worry about more reports. Fontaine is far more advanced than Natlan. No one will believe such an innovative product could come from a place like—
That goes against all of Fontaine's advertisement regulations. We can't do—
What if I give you a portion of the profits?
You're trying to bribe me? Careful. I'm dangerously close to reporting this to Monsieur Novelette.
Oh. I knew if I was just allowed to market my product, it would be a hit. But now, no one will see it as anything more than a poor imitation marketed— I will never accept that someone from this backwoods, ignorant nation—
Even when the truth is right in front of you—
Ha! Truth is in the eye of the beholder. I'm already in the printing industry. All I have to do is destroy this sphere, write a detailed report about my findings, and publish it around the world. Then, the so-called truth becomes your word against mine. Once my report is accepted as fact, no one can accuse me of making false claims.
That's awful. What happened to us?
That plan hasn't changed. I will continue to spread my truth for all of Teyvat to see. Ah, you mean a hero of Natlan who's not actually from Natlan? And a great shaman who, from a practical perspective, there's no reason for either—
Shows what you know.
Oh, since you like rumors so much, have you heard the one about what happens to people who get on my bad—
Ah, the wrath of Granny Itzli. Like I said, our interests aren't at odds. I knew from the beginning that you would accept my invitation, considering Huitzilin was your rival. You've lived longer than her, you're far stronger than her, and yet, she has always been more revered. With the backing of the printing industry, I can take any book and send it to all four corners of Teyvat. And in my version, I can erase the Battle of Seven
That's not real history.
That's a no, then? Your history means nothing to me.
Done running your mouth? Good. Before handing you over to the tribe, I think I'll have my—
If this comes to a fight, per my contract, you're gonna have to go through me.
That's right. I didn't pay all that Mora for nothing.
Wait, aren't you subordinates of the captain? Why are you helping some—
The captain, united in the pursuit of Mora. We travel the land to collect debts. Our loyalty is to Regreater, his interests, and his wealth.
Regrader?
The captain means nothing to them. They serve a different harbinger.
This man has the potential to become a giant in the printing industry and disrupt
It's all been a lie from the very beginning!
I don't care who you serve. When it comes to punishment, show no mercy!
Crumble!
Hold the line!
Sakura swirl! My apologies!
Yes! Dawn, break forth!
Billowing surge! Rust and revive! Whirling snow!
Suffer the wrath of Eastleigh!
This is order. Stabilize.
That's what you get for messing with the hero of Natlan and Granny Eatsley. They could give Regrader a run for his...
When did this person get so strong? Looks like the men following the captain failed to update us on the late... Not good. This is becoming more trouble than it's worth.
Hey, what about our contract? Your boss signed it.
Our boss never signs a contract without loopholes. Even a veteran businessman like yourself fell into his trap. That's what makes him the best. Go home and read the fine print. All I did was trigger the exculpatory clause. The other stipulations have been fulfilled. I set up explosives around the cave, strong enough to destroy this. Oh, and for security purposes, all explosives have been rigged to blow.
What? This whole place...
We're supposed to wait until I made it out. Are you...
That depends on how fast you can run. I'm off.
You think you can just waltz out of here? Traveler, stop them, and then...
If I'm caught, I implicate my boss. Time for the backup plan.
Wait, don't!
Where are we? Back in the maze? Our surroundings look good point. She'll know how to get out of here. Let's hurry. If we don't make it, let's see. Seat Lolly! Oh, looks like it's not gonna be that easy. What should we do? The special color? The one you saw in that woven scroll? You're right. Lead...
He triggered it just like that? If the technique isn't activated correctly...
Instead of a realm of memory, the subjects in question will be trapped if you cannot escape in time. It's mutually assured destruction. But...
I knew it! Someone of your skill wouldn't leave behind memory fragments just to parrot instructions. You must have the capacity for...
I appreciate the compliment. It's been a long time, my friend.
This is no time for a reunion! The cave outside is about to collapse. I know time flows differently in this. Can you help me get...
You misunderstand, Seat Lolly. I'm nothing more than a
What do you mean? This space can be manipulated, right? The exit of your maze. I remember its structure. You just need to tell me how...
The maze you saw earlier was constructed using the memories when people leave deep impressions on each other. These connections are particularly strong, but that is how I created my maze. The connections between the memories were my needle, but If that color is crudely combined with an isolated memory, this space is a combination of my color and your memories. There is no way to alter or construct because there are no connections at your disposal.
Over 200 years, and not a single lasting connection.
Well, at the very least, you...
That's only because you never gave me a moment's peace. Still, it's a shame you're not around. You said it yourself.
Sweet Lolly.
But now that I have the chance to talk to you again, your special technique, you didn't pass it on to your students. You passed it on to the rival you could
So you figured it out.
After what I saw in the maze and everything you just told me, I'm certain the technique at the center of all this is the same one you taught me, but you never brought up the fact that you used it to win a battle. I'm getting the feeling you always meant for me to come here. But if this is a foreshadowed event, I'm not happy.
Sweet Lolly, ever since you learned that technique...
You mean...
That color is the core of the technique. But it isn't my invention. More specifically, you could call it, in truth, passing on the technique is a process of using that color. Yes, the technique has the power to decide victory. But in my opinion, you are fated to live a far longer life than me, Sweet Lolly. So I wanted to leave a little color
Your color.
One day, you too will want to leave behind your color and someone...
I have to get out of here. That's the only way to...
Sweet Lolly, what are you...
I understand the true principle of this technique now. If I can't construct an exit, then...
But you could lose a portion of your
I know. But my memory is just a blank canvas I've neglected for 200 years. Traveler?
When you entered the realm of memory I constructed, I used your memories to learn about your recent experiences. After 200 years, someone has appeared by your side. The kind of person the Night Kingdom harbors Natlan's memories, and the Traveler's connection to that realm is incredibly strong. This means that, even without your tutelage, he can see the...
What did you say?
Although he doesn't know how to wield it, he unknowingly left behind a trace of color. That was enough to guide him to this space. You now have... Well, Sweet Lolly, it looks like part of this was foreshadowed.
Traveler? Traveler!
That's Sweet Lolly's voice!
This is goodbye, my friend. Your memories over the past 200 years are much more...
Wheat Celine.
Sweet Lolly!
Paimon! Traveler! Hold my hand.
Did we teleport out? Man, that place was so... Woo! We made it out just in time! Wonder what happened to the Fatui guy.
He was most likely trapped inside that space, just like the external structures supporting that space would have collapsed with the ruin. Unless he managed to escape, he would have been crushed.
He still preferred that to being caught, huh? They were standing a bit further away, right? They probably weren't pulled into the...
Hello?
It's one of Maluson's employees! Quick,
I can explain! I had no idea Maluson was such a terrible person. I couldn't stop him from running, so I stayed behind and tried to find people to help rescue you. I'm so glad you managed to get out.
Either way, the guards will take you back to the tribe.
I understand.
Anyway, I'm not here to harp on you. I just need to know one...
He went that way, but I'm not sure if you can catch up.
That way? Huh. Unless you said... Traveler, Paimon, come with... off about him yesterday. So I set a few things in motion.
My bank balance? No! No!
What's wrong with him?
That's one of the tricks Claw uses to scare people. He makes people hallucinate. It's particularly effective on weak-minded...
Serves him right!
I know. It was a lot to ask.
Was that a declaration?
Forget about him for now. The Ectomisaurs will make sure Montluçon doesn't escape before the guards...
Right! The special scroll! But...
Don't worry. Wheatziline's technique hasn't been lost at all. Come with me. I'll explain... Oh, and Traveler? Everything you said about... I knew you'd want to tag along. Now, when it comes to weaving the scroll itself, you don't actually need to lift a finger. But if we're going to pass on Wheatziline's technique...
What are you saying, Seatla?
Follow me.
Whoa, look at this place. Do you weave scrolls too?
Scrolls. Scrolls? I thought you were going to show me your masterpiece.
That I am, old friend. The technique I'm about to show you.
Fine. What is it? Something that can turn the... You probably want to challenge me, right? I know you don't have the strength for a real...
Old friend, my life is nearing its end. I'm afraid.
Hey.
Don't worry. I trust in the belief of our tribe. That death is not the end, but the beginning of a new existence in the Night Kingdom, where everything is made of memories. So, do you know why our ancestors insisted on using? Because history is the memory of a people. We give our scrolls an orange hue, so the dead can still feel the warmth of the setting sun. We decorate them with kernels of grain fruit, so the dead can still enjoy the abundance of...
I know that, but something this important? Why entrust it...
As your friend. I don't have long, Sipali. Oh, I'm not sure I can truly explain my decision. But I know you will understand one day. For now...
Just this once. I understand now, Wheatziline. Just like you said I would. Claw, help me move this outside. I'm going to color it. Traveler, Paimon, come with me.
We are like birds, soaring through the horizons of time. I linger between brushes of memory, seeking the color of my final journey. When I get there, may there be feathers to paint the sky, shades of rose. And fields of green to beckon adventurous souls. And azure oceans with which to sail into the unknown. And volcanoes too, where, despite the danger, hidden treasure waits to be found. And graffiti art, of course. Without that color, just imagine the dullness of night.
Anything else?
In the end, I hope everyone remembers my color too.
I hope everyone remembers your color too. All in all, it was just a technique for coloring a scroll.
The task I'm entrusting to you is much more than that. Farewell, my friend.
I knew you would understand.
This is the special scroll. How did you know how to weave it, Seat Lolly? Hold on. You've lived for more than 200 years. You know how to weave the special scroll. That must...
Oh, well, it's not like I wanted to interact with the Appointed. So whenever I delivered the scroll, I used illusions to confuse... The fact that it turned into some kind of divine intervention is because no one was skilled enough to see through my tricks.
You've carried the duty alone for all these years? Even if you don't like interacting with people, why not teach someone else?
Traveler. The essence of that color is memory. That means completing the special scroll is a process of searching for color within your memories. Passing the technique on to someone means sharing your memories with them. You need to leave traces of your color in their memory. Even though I only confirmed that today, I've had suspicions for a long time. And, well, ever since Sweet Zealine died.
Oh, yeah.
It was her final wish, so I kind of resigned myself to taking on the burden forever. But Claw never stopped appointing new candidates to weave the scroll, despite knowing exactly how I felt about the situation. I knew exactly what he was doing. And yeah, if I ever did share my memories with someone, I guess that this time, though, you win, Claw. Take this. I guess it's my response.
What is it?
If I had to choose my color, countless people exist in my memories, and I know one day that will be my fate, too. A memory living on. Since you have a long lifespan, you're the perfect candidate to bear this memory. Just keep it safe. And you better not forget my—
Whoa. It's a little early to talk about death, don't you think?
Isn't that what friends are for?
Okay, this is a serious commitment. Well, Seat Lolly, if the Traveler's going to leave their color in your mind too, it'll—
Actually, their mark is already there. Remember the mind-reading effect I couldn't fix? Sharing senses allows communication to occur between the consciousness of different people. Although I didn't know it at the time, we both have the ability to see the color of memory, which means that when I shared my senses with— And that connection is what caused my original spell—
So, you can hear the Traveler's thoughts because you left traces of color and that's why the Traveler could hear your thoughts too, because it
Quick thinking. But only those trained in the mystic arts can maintain that level of connect. That's why I can still hear the traveler's thoughts, but not the other way. There's no need to worry, though. Now that I've figured out how it works, I'll get
Oh!
I lied. Hearing each other's thoughts actually depends on the strength of the connection between our memories. So, after everything we just went through, I bet I knew it. Since the connection between our memories is already there, the only way to get rid of the effect is for just messing with you. I'm a legendary shaman of my tribe. Now that I know the cause, of course I can figure out how to fix it. It'll probably take some time, though. So bear with me, friend. Besides, I'm an open book. It's not like you're gonna hear anything embarrassing. Oh, unless I've had a few drinks. A shame? I mean, if you ever miss this whole telepathy no promises, though. Some thoughts are better kept to yourself.
Ah, you did it? Your investigation into the
Wow! The scroll is
Elder Talapo's wisdom is never.
Yeah, we should explain. Take it away.
You
don't look surprised at all.
It makes perfect sense. History is the memory of a people. Now, it's just a matter of preserving this secret technique. From your description, it sounds like learning the technique requires the previous hold.
Well, yeah.
In that case, I must work with our priests to reinvent the technique. After all, memories are precious things, meant to be shared with those closest. You completed your task admirably. Finding a way to carry on.
All right, we'll leave that to
Oh, and please pass along my. We interrogated the Fontanian merchant she apprehended. And it turns out he is the reason some among our. He hired people to spread misinformation about the Battle of Seven Colors. The recent friction within the tribe. We now have a record of his crimes, and will begin working with Fontaine authority.
So he was behind the controversy in the first place. Guess it's easier to investigate when people. Anyway, that clears it up. People don't just question their history out of nowhere.
Until we meet again.
You told him every.
Yep, we left out the part about your contribution, but it kinda seemed like
You could have just said it was a gift from the spirits. I guess he is different from the previous chiefs. But if he figures out it was me all these.
There you are. I've been looking everywhere.
Oh, it's the other Fontanian researcher.
Please, call me Allier. After questioning, the tribe absolved me of any I'll be heading back to Fontaine soon. No employer means no funding, after all. But I wanted to finish I'd like to ask some questions about Huitziline. I want people outside of Natlan to hear her story.
Questions? Why should I let an outland?
Don't misunderstand. I have no intention of twisting your history or using it to make a profit. It's just, I believe amazing stories deserve to be shared with the world. Culture thrives through dialogue.
All right, you can ask your questions, but...
Important plans?
Oh, thank you very much.
Another day, another drained social battery.
Oh, that! When it comes to light novels, your memory is like a steel trap, huh?
You're telling me. Yeah, it's not gonna be easy. But I don't need them right away. Just don't
Of course! We'll get them sent to you as...
Sent to me? Nuh-uh. I don't want a stranger
And this is?
The key to my house. Don't bother knocking next time. You'll just...
I suppose this will do.
Add Astra. Thank you for Add Astra.
This realm is... If you ever... Okay. My legs are so sore. Guess I must have been sleepwalking last night. Again. Okay. Why do I have to write so many papers?